Hi, I'm out here looking over this pawpaw. Wanted to post an update. I've been posting pictures about this pawpaw. Did a video earlier about this pawpaw and what it's been going through. The tree suffered this summer. All summer long it looked poor. The leaves were kind of yellowish, and I did a number of things to it. I had roughed the ground up around it and fertilized it, and with a low nitrogen and a low iron type fertilizer that I've got here at the house. It's basically for shrubs and stuff like that. But anyways, the tree suffered all summer long. The leaves only got about half the size of what they normally get. This tree was brought here, I'm going to say about 6 years ago, by a family member. And there was two of them. I planted one over by the drive, and then I planted this one over here by itself, which was a mistake, but it is what it is. Since then, I've integrated some other pawpaws. That being said, this tree was loaded with flowers this spring, and I pollinated them, and none of them took a fruit set. Of course, the tree started suffering. Flower sets fell off. And now it's loaded once again with flower sets for next year, and fingers crossed. One of the things that I had decided to do is just, I've done what I could do. Let's just leave it alone. And something that I wanted to bring up is these shoots coming up from the stalk. And when those started to come up, I started thinking in the way I think about trees in general, because I grow a lot of different trees. Some trees, whenever you have that going on, it's an indicator that that tree's dying. And but I also got to thinking about the process of these trees growing. Them leaves being green, collecting photosynthesis, it's feeding that root down there, and it's helping that root out. So my thought was, when those started to come out, leave them be. They're going to collect that photosynthesis that it needs and feed that root. Maybe I'm using the wrong word as far as photosynthesis. I don't know. I'm just an old backwoods guy. But the thing about it is, that was my thought. Let them grow, let them do what they're going to do, and see what happens. And as you can see, the color has came back into this tree. So I've got my hopes up on this one. I'm getting into that time of the year. I'm going to have to put a fence around it to protect it, because deer will rub on that, and you know what would happen with that tree. There's a little root sucker that had came up right there, and I had decided I'll let that be also, because if that tree dies, that little root sucker will feed off that root and possibly bring it back. So we'll see what happens. But in any event, things are looking a little bit up. Now, I've got a little tree over there, and right behind the camera, I got a tree. Oh, it's probably about 6.5, 7 foot tall, and it has flower sets in it for the first time this year. I transplanted that tree, by the way, last year, and with the idea that this tree needed a pollinator, and if it lives, there's a pollinator right there. So I'm very optimistic about what's going to happen. Yes, I will come out here and hand pollinate between the two trees. However, the other tree, I don't think it's going to be big enough or strong enough to handle the weight of pawpaws in it. So we'll see. I'll see as the branches go if it takes a fruit set, and if it looks like it's going to stress that tree out, pawpaws are gone. I'll take them off that tree. I don't want to damage that tree. I want that tree to live on and do what I want it to do. But in any event, it was just something I wanted to share with you. By the way, this is not a grafted tree. It came here as a seedling. It's not a grafted tree. A lot of people see that down there and they think, well, it's a graft, and what's growing in the bottom's coming from the graft. The leaves on these right here are large, as you can see. They got some size to them. And that tree, the leaves have always been big like that. The other one that came here along with it, this year I had posted pictures on the Pawpaw pages on Facebook of a leaf that I had removed from that tree, showing the measurements of it. That leaf was 12 inches long and about 5.5 inches wide. So it had good sized leaves in it, and it's got a fruit set in it as well right now. So we're waiting to see what kind of fruit that's going to produce. And it too, by the way, is a seedling. Well, in any event, this is just something I wanted to share. Any thoughts that you may have, feel free to comment on them. Pawpaws, they're amazing little trees. Well, anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Y'all have a God bless day.